Are you ready to have your website get found by the right people? Are you looking to rank at the top of Google so you get more traffic to your website? Are you ready to learn how to use SEO and content marketing to grow your organic traffic? If so, you are in the right place, my friend. Welcome to the Simple SEO Content Podcast. Hi there, and welcome back to the podcast. I'm so glad that you are here with me today. So today's episode is a little bit different. We're not just talking about SEO today. Today we're talking about our websites and conversion, because this is part of the entire process, part of the equation. SEO, search engine optimization, is going to boost our visibility and bring traffic to our website. Now we need to make sure that our websites are set up to do their job and that they are able to help convert that traffic that comes to visit, or those people who find out about us and come visit the website. And I kept seeing this come up again and again and again in a couple of entrepreneurial groups that I'm in. And it was like, you know what? I want to write a blog post on this. I want to do a podcast episode because I believe very strongly that there is a correlation between our traffic and our conversions. And if we start increasing traffic and we do not see an increase in conversions, it's because there's something wrong with our website. We are not set up for conversions, and that means our website is hurting our business. And I see so often people asking, hey, I have my opt-in, I've got my webinar page, nobody has signed up. Would someone take a look at it? And you look at it, and it's very definitely hurting them, and they don't know it. So let's talk about what could potentially be hurting your website, just to make sure that yours is set up in a way that traffic that you're generating from your SEO work is going to pay off. So what I see more than anything is that sites that struggle have a problem. There's 5 problems I see. Number 1 is it is not immediately clear what your business does, who you help, how you help them. Maybe you haven't quite figured out who your ideal customer is, like we talked about last week. Maybe you're still kind of struggling with that. Maybe it's just not clear. Maybe you're not using the right language. You're not using the words that they're looking at. Maybe it's kind of cluttered. It's hard to tell. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of graphics. It's hard to know where to look, how to focus your eyes. The other thing that can just be is that it's hidden, like your message, your text is hidden on mobile, and most people are going to initially start searching on their phones. So what I want you to do to determine, is this a problem? I want you to go to your website on your computer and on your phone, and I want you to look at your homepage. No scrolling, no movement whatsoever. Is there a sentence that tells me exactly what you do and who you help? Is there information about that? Like if you go to mine, it's going to tell you, it used to say I make SEO easy to understand. Now I believe it says I help you be visible online, because I've had to change my messaging slightly because of all the shifts with Google. But you want something like that. One sentence. Who are you? What do you help with? And stay focused on them, on the visitor, not yourself. This is not about you. This is about them. How do you help them? Because what I want you to remember, every person visiting your website is asking the same question. What's in it for me? Why would I trade you my information? Why should I trust you? Why should I buy from you? Because they have a question, they have an issue, they need something, and they need to be convinced that you can help them. And when they're first coming to see you the first time, they're going to be skeptical. They're not going to just believe that you can help them. And it's very likely they're not going to come back to your site again without additional prompting. So it's really important that when they come on their phone or on their desktop, they can see who you are and what you do and how you help them immediately. So that's your 5-second test. Can someone tell? And if you aren't sure, ask your mom, your cousin, somebody who knows you, who doesn't understand what you do for a living. We all have them. Ask them to look at your website and see if they can understand without scrolling in 5 seconds or less what you do. If not, you need to make an adjustment. You need to change your opening hero section on your homepage because most people are not going to scroll. So it's really important. The next thing we need to look at is, are you getting traffic, but your email list is not growing? So if you're getting traffic, your SEO is working, you're more visible in AI search, people are finding you, they're coming to you, but they're not signing up for whatever it is you offer as your freebie, that's a problem because we want them to convert. The only way they're going to become customers is if they become leads. Somebody who's just coming to your website to visit or to check it out the first time, they're not yet a lead because you don't have their contact information. You cannot nurture them. You cannot engage with them. You can't really do anything. So what you need to make sure is your opt-in, your freebie, your valuable free offer, whatever you want to call it, everybody calls it something else, is that easy to see? Is it clear what it is? Is it easy to get and to request? You want to have as minimal a required number of sections to fill out to get your freebie. Truly, the only thing you need is their email address. So on my freebies, you'll notice if you go to my website, I ask for your first name. It is not a requirement. I do that because I like to be able to personalize my emails. I like to be able to know who I'm talking to, especially when you send me questions, you reply to emails. I go look and pull it up and see if I have your first name so that I can reply back with that because it just is nicer. Then I require the email address because I cannot send you the freebie that you're looking for without having your email address. So that is the only thing that is actually required. What you want to look at is, does my opt-in, is it prominent? Can I see it without scrolling on my homepage and on my phone? Really important that you can see the opt-in without any scroll on your phone because you want them, when they come to your website for the first time, they need to see that so that hopefully they'll sign up for it, because the reality is if they don't sign up for it then, they may very well forget who you are. They may not come back. You may miss out on that person. So make sure that it's really easy. Not only what do I do, but where is my opt-in? And then from there, I want you to look at some of the opt-in performance. I had this conversation with a student recently because she wasn't sure if she had created the right opt-in. She had a new opt-in sequence and people were signing up for the freebie and they were signing, it was a free class. They were signing up for it, but they were not scheduling the consult call. And so she was really confused as to why they weren't. She'd had 200 people come through and request the freebie, but nobody had requested a consult call. So we talked about that just to see. And we looked at it and it's okay, 200 people saw the freebie page. 80 of them signed up for the freebie. So she had approximately a 35% sign up, which is okay. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. We want to see 30 or better generally on your freebie landing page. But then when we went from those 80 people, not one person had signed up for a consult call, which told me something was broken at that stage of the funnel. The actual lead capture was fine. It was something in the follow-up. So then I looked at it with her and I realized it was, I believe, the way that her follow-up sequence was formatted because her call to action was buried. It was very hard to find, which moves us into item number 3 that I see, and that is that there's a problem with your call to action button or call to action phrases. In her case, she had a video sequence to kind of warm people up, bring them into her world. And rather than sending people one video each day with a big call to action button to book a consult under that video, she had one landing page with 5 videos on it. And it wasn't until you got all the way to the bottom of the page that there was one call to action button. So I had her, if this were mine, this is how I would do it. This is what I would do differently. So she's in the process of changing that. So hopefully that's going to increase her conversions. The other problem I see is sometimes it's almost impossible to figure out what you're supposed to do. There's pictures behind, there's pictures with text on top of it, or there's text that's white text on a blue background that's almost impossible to read. What I want you to look at with your call to action buttons in particular is, are they high contrast? Is there a big contrast between the button color and the font? We're talking blue with white, dark blue background, white font, white background, black font. We want big, bold, easy to see, high contrast. The other thing we want to see is it a color that is unique? I don't want you using the same page that's in, or the same color that's in all your highlights on your page as your call to action button. Your call to action button should be one color and one color only, and it should be the only thing used in that color on that page so that it stands out. You also want to look at the text and the size even of your call to action buttons. When I worked at the first agency I was with many years ago, we actually did a whole testing series in emails for one of our clients. And it was a large, they're at your house. They're delivering packages to you every day. They were one of the major delivery companies, okay? And we tested in their emails, did turquoise or yellow or orange work better as a call to action? Which one got people to click more? Once we established that, it was orange, by the way. Once we established that orange worked better, then we tested placement of the call to action button. Did it matter if it was at the top, if it was in the center, or if it was at the bottom? And I'll be honest, I can't remember exactly what was the winner for that because it's been about 15 years since I did that. But what you want to look at is it clear? Is it easy to read? Is it high contrast? Do you know what it looks like what you're supposed to do? Is it cutesy or is it straightforward? Get the free guide, take the free class, learn here. Tell them what they're doing. Give them that little micro conversion because that's going to help. The fourth one we've kind of talked about already, and that's that your site looks good, but it's hard to use on mobile. So we've talked about how it looks on mobile. Now we need to talk about the actual functionality, the actual usability on mobile. So sometimes we see sites that are beautiful, but are not super mobile friendly. What I want you to do is go to your site and look at each of your core pages on mobile. You should most likely have what we call a responsive design website at this point in time. They've been around for a long time. All that means is that your website template is designed to look nice at any size. So whether it's on a phone, it's on a tablet, it's on a computer, it's designed to adjust. So you want to make sure your screen size, your content looks good. I had a situation recently with one of the pages where it looked great on the computer, but when I went to double check it on my phone, the text and the image were actually overlaying on top of each other and you couldn't read the text on one of the pages. We ended up having to remove the image on mobile only so that it still was easy to read. You do not want to have anything jumbled up on mobile. You want to make sure that it's a really easy user experience on mobile. The last thing is your site hard to read or understand? Are you using text that makes sense, that's easy to understand? Are you using words that your average fifth grader, so approximately 10 years old, understands? Because they say when we are creating our content, we need to write to a fifth grade comprehension level to make sure that we are really working with the general population. We don't want to have content that is above our readers' heads that makes them feel intimidated or like they're not smart enough to work with us. We absolutely don't want that. We want them to feel seen and heard and understood and see how we can help them. The other thing is just make sure that you don't have issues with the text overlay and things like that on your mobile site. Just make sure it's easy to read. Look at your opt-ins. Don't have a big picture with lots of, I saw one recently, it was a picture with a mountain and then it had small text in white and it was like a webinar opt-in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, first off, this has nothing to do with the webinar. Second off, that text is impossible to read on top of that picture. Put a box behind it, make it easier to see, make your text stand out, use a bigger font so it's easier to read. There's so much you can do, but you really want to make sure if you're getting traffic to your site, let's make sure that your site is geared to help you convert that traffic. We need to make sure that your freebie is front and center. Your call to action button is easy to read. It's high contrast. It stands out. People are going to be more likely to make that conversion. We want to make sure you have the information that they're looking for and that it's really easy to read and see and work with on desktop, mobile, Tablet's not as important, but I'm not saying don't worry about tablet. Just in general, we don't see as much traffic from tablet, but we want to make sure that it is a good user experience no matter what type of device they are on. We also want to make sure that your website is optimized so we can get the traffic in, but we've got to do more. We've got to get, once they come to the site, we need to make sure we're doing what's necessary to build that email list, generate those leads, and make those sales. Otherwise, we are wasting our effort with our SEO, and I don't want you to do that. We got to do both parts of it. All right, that's it for today. I will see you back here next week. Go take a look at your website. Make sure that you are not inadvertently or accidentally hurting yourself. I want to make sure that your website is working for you. That's all for today's episode of the Simple SEO Content Podcast. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you visit my website, etchedmarketing.com, and visit the freebies tab. Right there, you're going to find the SEO Content Quick Start Guide along with the free SEO class. So you'll have everything you need to know to get started with SEO and content marketing. Then do me a favor, if you wouldn't mind, if you would do a rating and a review of this podcast on your favorite platform, that would really help spread the message, and I do greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions, you can always DM me on Instagram at Etched Marketing Academy, and I will see you right back here next week.